Hey, how are you doing? I am doing as good as ever, especially because today is a rainy day. Every now and then we have some rain, some really heavy rain. We even had the lights turn off a couple of times already since it started pouring. The weather is honestly very relaxing and chill. It's very atmospheric, and today's probably going to be a pretty chill video. I don't know if you can see, but I dyed my hair. You probably can't notice, but I was supposed to dye my hair like a bright copper ginger, if you saw my painting the door video, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should watch that. It shows off my artistic skills. I tried dyeing my hair recently, but it turned out more like a really dark red and not like ginger at all, which is a little upsetting, but it actually looks good. Unfortunately, the colors are fading very quickly. I'm a bit sad, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. That was a little tangent, a little intro to the video. I want to talk about a movie that I recently watched. It's called As Above, So Below. A lot of you might know it. It's a horror movie, and at first when I just started watching it, I did not like it. I'm gonna be honest, I did not expect it to be good at all, but it turned out to be actually very interesting. I said at first it was not interesting. I was really bored, and I was hating on all the characters, and I thought they're so tacky and annoying and cheesy. Worst part, it's in France. Okay, they were filming in the catacombs of France, and there was French people everywhere. You know, it's basically just it's a horror movie, so what else would you expect? So that added to the terror of it all. The real terror starts when the characters, they enter the catacombs and they start exploring. So the main character, her name is Scarlett, she gets this group of people to go with her to look for a hidden treasure, and also she's not looking for the treasure, she wants to find this stone, the Philosopher's Stone. Many of you might know it from Harry Potter, but it is an actual thing, or, well, an idea created by Nicholas Flamel. Nicholas Flamel was an alchemist. Alchemy is turning one element into a completely different one, like turning things into gold. That's kind of what alchemy is. In a lot of stories and a lot of fiction, it's used as, you know, a magic term. The Philosopher's Stone is the stone that grants healing and also allegedly undying. So Nicholas Flamel was living forever. That was his legend. And Scarlett was trying to find that stone just to know the truth, because her father was trying to find it, but he died, and that point, the plot point, is actually brought up later. At first, in the beginning of the movie, there's a lot of these things that seem like they won't be important. At least to me, I thought it's just like a random plot point that will just never be brought up again. Joke's on me. They were actually pretty crucial. Like, Scarlett's father's death is brought up in a very eerie moment in the later half of the movie. What was the point where I found it actually like, what point was like where it grabbed my attention? It's the first death. Yeah, it makes sense, because like the first person dies, that's where all the action starts. But what was special about it is that that death was so unexpected. You know that trope where there's a character in a horror movie that is just sitting there staring at you, like, and they're not moving, they're not responding to anything, and usually, you know, somebody's coming up to them really close, just like, hey, are you okay? Looking at them face to face, and then that person like jumps out of them and grabs them and whatnot, and it's all this big kerfuffle. Usually I feel like nothing bad happens, they just eliminate the threat, and they're like, that was awful. It's in a lot of like Hollywood movies, but in this movie, when that happens, a person actually dies, and it is very unexpected. It's very sudden. That's what grabbed my attention. I was not invested in that movie up until that point. It's the type of movie where more and more people die as the movie progresses. It's a fun thing thinking about, oh, who's gonna die next. It's like a game when you're watching a movie. You're like, oh, who's gonna be the last one alive? There's this trope again that is like, your sins came back to haunt you. What happened in the past, things that you regret, it's coming back, and it's what's killing you, in both a literal and a not like spiritual, like mental way. Okay, so for example, a person has died. Most of this is related to like, these characters had someone in their life who died in the past, and it's like killing them mentally or like spiritually is destroying them, and they feel really bad. But when they enter those catacombs, that stuff is actually trying to physically hurt them. It's pretty terrifying, and it's an interesting trope that has been done quite a few times. I've seen it done a lot of times. I feel like it's a very, often repeating trope in movies, kind of overdone maybe, but in this movie it was actually executed pretty well. And seeing how the characters reply to what happened, like how they react to those sins that come back to haunt them, and how they interact and how they deal with mistakes and those regrets that happened. It's a very interesting thing to think about, of how to deal with troubles from the past and events that have been hurting you. While I was watching the movie, I was texting my friend what was happening in the movie, and I found this part kind of funny. It was just poking fun at it. It's kind of a spoiler maybe, but the Philosopher's Stone, okay, it heals once, but for some reason it doesn't work a second time, and so Scarlet has to go back to where she found that stone and figure out what's going on. And she finds out that maybe the real treasure was the friends we made along the way, or like friendship is magic, or like it was in you this whole entire time. It was you were the Philosopher's Stone. It's like a Disney trope. Like all those other horror tropes that I named, they're all like for scary movies, mostly like people dying and sins of the past come back to haunt you, but that like maybe you were the treasure all along. it's funny. But I gotta say, that movie, since it is a horror movie, was it scary? Yes, it was pretty scary. It did scare me. Not terrible. There wasn't, I mean, there was quite a bit of gore. It wasn't too graphic compared to other things I've seen in movies. Some random things that I don't understand yet. There are some parts of the movie that I don't understand yet, like the cult that they saw in the catacombs at the beginning. That was weird. Who were those people? Why were they there? How were they involved in any of it? But I can dismiss that and just look at the rest of the movie. I thought it was pretty interesting. It was good. It was made well. I think the acting was actually not bad. At the beginning I was not feeling it yet, but towards the end I was pretty amazed. And also the end credits, just the sound, the music that they used, and the visuals, they were like beautiful. A good ending. The ending of the movie was pretty good too. I think it was deserved ending. And the end credits is just like summed it all up. It was like a masterpiece. Would I recommend this movie? Yes, absolutely. Maybe not to everybody, but to people who like horror movies. As above, so below. If you haven't seen it, I recommend it. Now, the word for today is going to be colloquy, which is a noun and it means a formal conversation or discussion. So this video was a colloquy. Not really, because it was kind of one-sided. I wasn't actually talking to you because I don't know you, unless I do. But yeah, a colloquy, a conversation, formal conversation. The more you know. So, to wrap up this video, I gotta say, if you have things that are troubling you that happened in the past, I hope you find a way to either forget them or heal in some way that is healthy. And I think I'll leave it at that. It was nice seeing you. Everberkins, over now.